Welcome back, folks. I am Jon Najarian, and this is 3 at 3. Every business day, we try to bring you unusual option activity where people that are of the institutional size are placing their bets, and we follow those bets. That's what we've done for the better part of, let's see now, 22 years. I've been trading for nearly 40. And for 22 years, we've been following unusual option activity, or UOA. And I'll describe for you those bits of unusual activity as we go through today's presentation. Starting with our disclaimer, which says that I am presenting this for informational and educational purposes only, that all investments involve risk, and that you should consult your financial advisor before you invest in stock or options. Our intellectual property rights are, but not limited to, copyrights, trademarks, patents, and registered marks. We have all of that for most of what you are about to see. So please ask us before you just copy it or reproduce it in any form. Here are the earnings that are coming our way next week. I'm sure that most of you are aware that Tesla is one of those biggies that we'll all be waiting for Mr. Musk. They had a successful launch, which is not tied to Tesla stock, but emotionally it certainly is. They had a successful SpaceX launch to the International Space Station using one of his Falcon 9 rockets and the astronauts getting off safely. Fantastic. Tuesday, we've got Alphabet coming our way. We've got Microsoft, we've got Visa, and UPS. That's a really packed day. And then Wednesday, we've got Facebook and Apple, and those are the two huge ones there. As you may have heard me say on the halftime report, I've got so many of these fangs that I'm practically Dracula because I am definitely invested in the fangs. And I collect about 20% from selling calls against these fangs. So when I talk with my friend Scott Wapner about whether or not, do I wish that Apple was up more than 1% on the year, a year in which the S&P 500 is up 10 or 11%? Sure, I do. But I don't intend on selling it. I intend on holding it. And I write options every week, staggering them 4 weeks into the future. Front week, second week out, third week out, fourth week out. Usually by Thursday of that expiring week, I'm buying back those calls and selling out calls that are then 5 weeks, about to become 4 weeks. So I always have a stack like that in Apple, in Alphabet, in Facebook, in Amazon, in any of these FANG names that I'm in. I generally am in them for the long term, and I am writing call options, which I can show you how you can turn those into 20% yielders. And I guarantee you, you can't find me a VRBO or anything else in real estate where you can make what we can make selling those upside calls, putting them out for rent, if you will, and collecting that rent every week. It's just a fabulous thing. Cash flow, baby. That's what it's all about. Now let's talk about some new trades. DraftKings hit today, bullish call buying with the stock at $59. You guys know this one came public through a SPAC, which means that a special purpose acquisition company was put together and they bought DraftKings. So rather than coming out through an IPO or a direct listing, this one came out as part of a SPAC. And today we note that not this day expiration, the 23rd of April, but next week, the 30th of April on Friday, they wrote a whole bunch of calls at the 60 strike that are going to expire next week. So I chose to buy an at the money call and sell a higher strike against it. Why? Because time decay is extreme when we get into 1 week options. That's why. So I wanted to address theta, which is time decay. I wanted to address vega, which is volatility compression. And I did both, along with taking down the cost of ownership, because instead of buying an option for say $1.50, I can put on a spread for $1 or maybe even less. And I like all of those moving the odds into my favor. So that's what I did. There is DraftKings. And as you see from basically the 19th of April, when it was a $54 stock, moving up to where it is today, 58.19, and being as high as 58.45 today, that describes what's been going on in DraftKings. I would encourage you strongly to tune in for our daily crypto bite, because whether the crypto market is going up or whether it's making a 23% correction, which Bitcoin has done. So if you had been listening to us when we said, kind of taking it easy here, backing off a little bit, I have bought more Bitcoin on the drop below 50. I can describe all of that, and you could hear it every day, how we're trading the doges of the day, as well as all these altcoins and Bitcoin on the daily crypto bite. That goes up on our YouTube channel as well. It streams live at 10 a.m. Eastern time, completely free. And if you want to join the chat room, rather than just having a 15-minute show once a day, if you'd like to have 24-hour access 7 days a week, yeah, we've got people in that chat room. You could go to marketrebellion.com/try crypto. That's try crypto. And then you could join for $1 for the first month. Now let's talk about the second trade today. A Brazilian stock, Petrobras. Petrobras is $8.35. It has made a dramatic drop because of the increased cases and the strains of COVID that are so virulent down there. So this particular stock has suffered along with the people of Brazil during that. So stock's $8.35. We see buying of 18,000 June 10 calls. That's 1.8 million share equivalent, several months out into the future. I bought calls in here, but I didn't buy those 10 calls. I bought the 8 calls and sold upside calls against it, because that's how I like to move the odds into my favor. That's what I did here. Stock is now 7 cents higher at $8.42. That's Petrobras. It is a big, market cap, $31 billion market cap energy name based down in Brazil. You could join our YouTube channel. It is completely free. I'll emphasize, it is completely free. You could join just by going to YouTube, typing in Market Rebellion, and then clicking that subscribe button there. If you click the subscribe button, you get all of our content. When we have a new podcast, it goes up there. The Take, which Pete does every day at 10:30 Eastern time. Daily Crypto Bite, 10 a.m. Eastern time. My 60-second video, my 3 at 3, all of that content is free. Thousands of videos, folks. You can go back over time and see if indeed we're not as accurate as we've said. We think we're somewhere north of 78% in accuracy for the readings that we get, but why don't you challenge me? Go through a bunch of videos and see. I think you'll see that the stocks we're talking about move up somewhere over 0.75% of the time, 3/4 of the time rather, not 0.75%, 3/4 of the time. We are right on the direction. And when we're wrong, we cut our losses quick, because my discipline is that at a drawdown of 50%, I'm out. I cut my loss. On the option doubling, I take half off the table, and then I snug up a stop order underneath the ones that I still own and try to let it run. That's what I do. You can hear all about how we do what we do for free on that YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and type in Market Rebellion. Third trade, also a Brazilian stock, PagSeguro, PAGS. This one, the stock's 45.50. They're buying the 47.50 calls in PAGS. January, they bought 12,000. That's 1.2 million share equivalent. because every option is for 100 shares. So I like tagging along in this one. It's down $20 off the highs. I like it to make a rebound. I like that we have till January. I'll probably be in and out of these many times between now and January, but I'm in them now. And there is the stock, 45.95. Like I said, 45.50 when we saw it and posted it up for our subscribers. It is a market cap of about $15 billion, and it is a fintech stock based down in Brazil. If you'd like to learn more about unusual option activity, if you'd like to sign up and become a subscriber and buy that stock 50 cents under where it is when we talk about it on the halftime report or when we talk about it here, well, you could be a subscriber. Now, it's not guaranteed that they're always up like that, but you could join marketrebellion.com/UOA and see for yourself. Are 20 to 30 trades a day too many for you? If so, we have one trade a day on a different service. We have one trade a week on another different service. We've got distance learning. We've got coaches. We've got mentors. We've got so many ways to help you become a winner in this trading game that I would encourage you to go to marketrebellion.com. And if you're really interested in unusual option activity, go to marketrebellion.com/UOA. Questions? All right, just direct them to me on Twitter at Jon Najarian, Jon, my father, JOHN. Let's see, Mindmed, MMEDF. I've loved this stock. I've owned this stock from the 30-cent range. Yeah, that's right. I first interviewed J.R. Ron, I think he's the chairman, a year ago when it was 30 cents. Now it pushes $3 and it's up 49% today. And John Giannis and Wayne Marcus are writing to us. John Giannis is at JOHNGIANIS, and Wayne Marcus is at WAYNEMARCUS 67. John asks or says, Mindmed, bang, bought more Tuesday after listening to 3 at 3 on Monday. Bang. Wayne Marcus says, hi, John, what happened to my Mindmed shares? Once it starts to trade on NASDAQ, do I automatically get the same amount with the new ticker? The answer is yes, unless they decide otherwise. So in other words, are they going to do a reverse stock split? Are they going to get this so that, for instance, when you get a stock that is over $5 a share, that's when many institutions can actually own it. But Mindmed will start trading on the NASDAQ, as you guys know. This is a leading psychedelic medicine company. They are not a dispensary. This is not like, and I have nothing against medical marijuana or recreational marijuana, nothing at all. But this is not that play. This is an investment in a company that basically does experiments with Johns Hopkins University on how does microdosing of LSD, how does microdosing of peyote, how does microdosing of various psychedelics help people wean off of addictions, help people with PTSD and so forth. This is huge. And on Tuesday, the 27th, that's next Tuesday, folks, this will start trading under MNMD. Bang. So to answer your question, Wayne, you get the same dollar value of shares when it goes up on the NASDAQ, but I can't tell you whether or not for sure it becomes a reverse stock split candidate immediately or not. So I love this company. Kevin O'Leary, my friend, good friend now, got me into this stock. I, as I say, interviewed the CEO and just was a true believer in what this stock is all about. Love it. Bang. Now let's get over to the next question, which is most memorable trade. What has been one of your most memorable trades? That's from Lil Investments, and that's LILLNVESTMENTS. Well, Full disclosure, I am a shareholder, as I just said, in Mindmed. That blew me away. The return, 10x on that one, going from 30 cents to $3. That feels pretty good. But my most memorable trade is another stock that I talk about a lot, Voyager. Voyager is a Canadian stock that is a registered broker. I believe they can do business in all the US states except New York. They're based in Canada. They are going to uplist one of these days onto the NASDAQ as well. And when they do, are they going to see a 49% pop like Mindmed just did? Maybe. Again, I am an investor, and I have been an investor since June of last year, and when that stock was 19 cents. And now I am still an investor, and it is $19. So many of you know that's 100x, and then some. I think this is a fabulous company. I want to own it for a long time. They are a crypto broker making a market in 50 plus, not making a market, that's wrong, offering you access to 50 plus digital assets. They sponsor our daily crypto bite. They pay you interest on your deposited crypto up to 9%, I believe, if you own their VGX token. So that's probably my most memorable investment. Most memorable trade, probably IBM, because I stood in that pit for decades, at least 2 decades, started in 1982 and traded in there through 2004, I believe, and loved that. Enjoyed the people in there, even the ones that I fought with, because, we're competing. So there's some fighting. But I remember many days where there were nearly 7-figure days of profits made from big moves in that stock. IBM was a fabulous stock to trade. I miss those days, but now I trade upstairs like all of you guys, and I love this too. So most memorable trade, little investments, probably when I bought a whole bunch of IBM going into the Gulf War, and then instead of being a bad thing for the markets, when the first soldiers started going in, all those stocks just went zip to the upside, and I had a pretty significant position. So I remember that. AMAT, let's wind it up with this one today, shall we? Justin Vasquez says, can you go over the most recent AMAT unusual? I try to practice the 50% loss, cut a position, and the 100% gain, cutting in half. With yesterday's reaction to Biden, it dropped to a 70% loss for me, so I cut it. Now it's back up. How do I handle these reactions? One of the things I do is, Justin, as you've heard me preach, I like selling an option against every option that I buy. So whether I do that on entry or whether I do that after the AMAT moves, as many of you know, 2 days ago on the 21st, I did see unusual activity in AMAT. And then Justin is correct. The stock did drop on that Biden tax proposal yesterday and then came all the way back and then some. So because I had sold an option against the options I own, I never was down 50%. But that is the discipline that I try to keep. I think you're wise to do it, even though in this case it hurt. So I'm sorry about that. But that's, I guess, emphasizing why I do those one-to-one spreads. Hey, thank you, Justin, for that question. Justin's handle was at bestdcever. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, everybody, for both your support, for subscribing to our YouTube channel, and for the questions that those of you who were brave enough asked and that we answered here. I hope you all have a great weekend. Oh, I meant to say, I will be flying out to Los Angeles on Monday. I will be filming the Adam Carolla show. Adam is one of the 2 most popular podcasters in the world. The first being Joe Rogan, slightly, I guess, but Adam Carolla certainly paved the road. And of course, Adam Curry, the king of podcasts, paved the road for all of us. So Adam Curry, at one time, I'm sure I'll get a chance to do his podcast. I would look forward to that. as I would look forward to being on Joe Rogan's. And I am delighted to say that I will be out in Glendale, Arizona with Bald Brian, with Gina Gadd, with Adam Carolla, with Dawson, with the Porcelain Punisher, with all of that crazy team. And I am so looking forward to that. So I'll make sure we post it up on the socials when that one drops. But I'll be out there in Glendale, Glendale, California, taping that on Monday, the 26th. So it'll be tough, but I'll still manage to get some 3-at-3 action up, I promise. So have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you next week. Bang! Let's make it happen.